So Brazil, Indiana, was about 10 minutes from a small town called Center Point, Indiana. And if you look it up online, Center Point, Indiana, 1995, you'll see a great picture of Center Point, Indiana in 1995. You'll see some pictures of people burning crosses, the Klan burning crosses. This is 1995. So now, in that town, now I'm not for sure how racist Brazil was, but Center Point was where a lot of it came from. So those kids and those parents in Center Point, those kids went to my school.
Right.
So those kids traveled that 10 minutes, went to Brazil, Indiana, and they went to my school. And they grew up in hate. So all they knew was hate. So they put that hate on me and a few other black kids. So there's about 5 black kids that went to my high school. So I was one of 5. I think there's about 2,000 kids in my school. And, one time, I came out of class one day and I saw my brown citation, and it had "nigger, we're gonna kill you" spray painted on it. So these are some things like I hear about bullying nowadays, and stuff like this. If it happened now, it'd be all over CNN News. Back then, my mom was working 3 jobs. By now, her fiance, she was about to get married December, right after Christmas, and it was when I was 14 years old. She was about to get married, and he got murdered.
Fuck.
So my soon-to-be new role model in my life got murdered. And so fast forward now, my mom's working 3 jobs. We just moved out of a $7 a month place. So, we lived there for about 3 or 4 years, and now we live in this decent house. And but it was always just a constant struggle. But I never put my fears and insecurities on my mother, because I saw her come up. My dad drug her down the stairs by her hair. She was constantly getting beat. And so when you're a young kid and you see this, you want to protect your mom. So my instinct wasn't like to get help, tell your mom this is how your life is. She never saw one report card of mine. She didn't know that I was going to flunk out of school. She didn't know how bad things were. I never told my mom that I'm getting called nigger all the time. First of all, it's not cool to be bullied.
Right.
So I had 2 different David Gogginses. I had the David Goggins that was afraid, that was very timid and afraid. And I had the David Goggins that walked around like he was cool, that nothing hurt him. That was the fake guy.
So even as a young man, you had to create this fake identity to
Yes.
protect you from the brutality of the world you were living in, because you had a father who was abusive.
Right.
Your mom's fiance was murdered.
Right.
You were beaten up in school. You were in a racist school, like one of only 5 black kids in a school with 2,000 white kids
Right.
in KKK territory. And you were called a nigger all your life.
Right. Well, I have to be real clear on this. What's funny about that is that I was a pretty popular kid in that school. That's the thing. When you look back on it, all you see is the racism. You don't see the popularity of the kids that liked you. The power in being able to calm your mind down and think. That's one thing I learned in my life, is that when I was in hell, I wasn't able to be in hell and be calm. Hell makes you anxious. Hell makes you want to get out of it. It's that person who has the ability to be in hell and think very calmly, very rationally about what the hell is going on. What's the truth? What's the reality? Why is my dad this way? Why are these kids calling me nigger? Why? You have to be able to piece people apart. Take it down, dissect it, and see what's going on. So back then, I didn't have those skills. I had no skills. All I saw was a whole bunch of kids like me, but I no longer saw that. All I saw was the spray painting on my car, me being called nigger. That's all I saw. My lens was this big. It was very small fucking lens. When now my lens is huge. I see everybody for who they are and what they are. So that's the one thing that changed in me, was my reality. We always paint a fucked up reality that's not even true. It's reality what we think is true, because our lives aren't what we want it to be.